You're invited to the exclusive virtual book launch event Saturday, June 27th, 1 o'clock p.m. featuring author Q Leanne. From author Q Leanne comes her debut book, My Journal to Healing, a true story of deliverance from trial to triumph. Join Queen as she shares her amazing journey through marriage, adultery, addiction, and singleness to the wholeness she enjoys today. Everyone comes to a point in their life where they have to choose a direction. Queen was known for following the path outlined in the Bible, but this time she took a different approach. When we understand who we are in God, that's when we can truly have a victorious life and allow God to use our past for His purpose. In this book, you won't find a story of a perfect life, but of life lessons, failures, and tribulations that author Q Leanne has turned into a ministry of healing, deliverance, and reconciliation. My Journal to Healing by Q Leanne. You're invited to the exclusive virtual book launch event Saturday, June 27th, 1 o'clock p.m. hosted by Miss Jazzy from the Jazzy Report on the Jazzy Report Facebook page and YouTube channel. Be sure to tune in Saturday, June 27th, 1 o'clock p.m. You don't want to miss it. Well, hello there and happy virtual book launch event for our queen, author Q Leanne. Yours truly here, Miss Jazzy. I'm so excited for those of you that have joined us this afternoon, as this is a really exciting time, and I'm so glad and so humbled that I personally get to be a part of it. I've been watching this young lady's journey for some time now, and the fact that she's taken an opportunity to write about it. For those of you that have pre-ordered your books, what an amazing time it is for all of us to rally behind our good friend, author Q Leanne. So ladies and gentlemen, come on and let's give a round of applause, because today is the day that we're going to hear from her heart. We're going to hear from her passion about her trial to triumph, of what it took for her to write My Journal to Healing. And I know many of you guys have been able to journal and also kind of get your feelings and your thoughts down. But the fact that author Q Leanne today is going to be sharing some snippets from the book, you don't want to miss it. So I definitely want to give you an opportunity right now to share this live across your social media platforms and invite as many of your friends as you can to be a part of this exclusive interview that you can say that you heard about it first right here on the Jazzy Report. So again, if you've not had an opportunity yet to even pre-order the book, listen, you can check out the website. It's www.qscreativeconcept. That's QS creativeconcepts.com, that you can pre-order this book. Again, My Journal to Healing. This has been an amazing journey for her. And we actually have a featured guest that's going to join us here in just a moment, that will be someone that she would say is someone that can hold her hand through this process of allowing her to really birth into the earth her very first book. So again, kudos to author Q Leanne, launching her very first book. And for those of you that are being a part of the exclusive of the virtual book launch today, so mark it in your books. You'll be able to know today, Saturday, June 27th. You heard it first. You heard all the exclusive details. We're going to ask some specific questions. And for those of you that are rocking with us for this time, if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask author Q Leanne, definitely comment, stay engaged with this exclusive virtual book launch. So for those of you that are watching, I'm going to take an opportunity right now to bring on the live someone that is no stranger to the author arena, but definitely the founder of Publish You. Y'all help me welcome to the live Miss Brandy Hunt. So Brandy, good afternoon. Welcome. Listen, you have such a passion and a desire in what you do for business anyway through Publish You, and the fact that you actually helped author Q Leanne publish this book. I want you to first of all take an opportunity, what it means to you to be able to see this now happening for her, that she's actually having her very first virtual, due to the COVID, book launch. But I'm also going to give you an opportunity to be able to introduce her and invite her onto the live with us this afternoon.
Thank you, Stephanie. You always bring such a light to wherever you are, whether you're boycotting or whether you're on a red carpet, and now you've come on to help us do this virtual book launch. I'm so proud of Q Leanne. I always remember the first conversation I have with the author, and it usually goes, I need to write a book and I don't know where to start. And as a matter of fact, I don't even want to write it. It's not like, oh yeah, God told me to write a book and I want everybody to know everything that I've gone through all of my scars. It doesn't really go that way. We cry a lot. This is the moment that a doctor has to have joy when the baby comes. We've done all that anguish. We've gone to all the doctor's appointments, and now here the baby is. It brings me so much joy to see people's dreams come true, period. But especially books, because I know what it's like to sit down with a blank piece of paper and like, okay, something got to come out. And so finally we're here. I'm so honored when people call me and say, hey, I don't want to use anybody but you. I know that what you said, I'm no stranger to the author world, and I'm no stranger to pain. So I don't only publish books just because it's something fun to do. I understand that people are processing pain, and when that book comes out, it's sending you to a whole nother world of purpose. And that's why I do what I do. And so, Q Leanne, I'm so proud of you for pushing through all the issues, all the drama, everything we had to go through. Not me and her. I always like to say, not me and her had to go through, but all the things happen when you get ready to write a book. Life just starts happening really fast. And you're like, wait, everything was cool. We were smooth sailing, and all of a sudden things just start popping off. And you're like, this has got to be an attack about this book. And it is. It's a very well written book. Thick. Get ready to read some good stories. I'm gonna let her tell you about it. But Q Leanne, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Did you have some questions before I brought her on?
Well, I just wanted to think about the fact, like I said, the phrase that she used for you, she's like, Brandy is that one that holds my hand through this. And so again, I know Q Leanne, I have total confidence in her as far as being able to share her vision, behind writing this My Journal to Healing. And so again, Brandy, with you being a publisher and the fact that you actually assisted to publish her book, I definitely wanted you to take an opportunity as well to be able to, give your information that people that are watching could definitely reach out to you if maybe they're thinking about getting their book published or, are in the beginning stages of making that happen. How could they reach out to you to connect with you as well?
Absolutely. So since we're right here on Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/publish and the letter U as in umbrella. And my email is publishu00@gmail.com. Even if you put some comments in this video, they'll tag me and I'll make sure that we connect.
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to allow you to do the honor because, again, you walked alongside with Q. But let me just ask this exclusive question for you. From the time that Q reached out to you to now that she's having her virtual book launch, and it may have taken, longer time, but how long were you guys really working in partnership to make this happen?
I meet people as friends and they become authors. I think it's one of those things like if I had to pick, I think we agreed on 2 years. So from the time she said, hey, you write books, you publish books, because for a while I didn't tell people I published. I didn't want that responsibility. And then God kind of just pushed me out there. And so people started calling me like, yeah, I heard you're a publisher. I'm like, who told you that? So she called me, she said, hey, can you help me?
Yeah.
Sure. And so she was still going through the process. I was ready whenever she was. But from the time she said, I'm ready, I want to say that was in middle of last year, probably. She got to typing. And I tell people, when it starts to flow, you in there. And she said, it's coming. Like it's coming every day. And I'm writing. And she probably called me in January and said, I'm ready. Manuscript is done. I love that's music to my ears. Yeah. The manuscript is done. She sent it to me. And even so we have been planning a big book launch. And I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. I hold her hand. I hold everybody's hand because it's scary. You're going from an in-person, we had this whole book launch plan. So I'm telling you to do a webinar. She'd never done a webinar. She was like, okay, what does that mean? So I don't want people to feel like that's a big world. I'm not going to do what God told me to do because it's just too big. Find somebody who, like us, will say, you know what, just come alongside me. I got you. And she would text me and she'll say, I hope I'm not asking you too many questions, but what does this mean? Or what does that mean? Or what am I supposed to do about this? And I told her who to connect to, who to reach out to, who could do the video. I say, call these people. I trust these people. And You
All
are
right,
one of
well,
the people
listen.
on the list. I said, I trust these people because visionaries know how to get stuff done. If I don't know nothing else about you and Miss December, visionaries know how to get stuff done. I'm a
Yes,
visionary. We connect to visionaries, and Q Leanne is a visionary. So you have all these powerful visionaries and women together. I said, I'll hold your hand, and now about 2 months from now, we're not gonna be holding your hand no more, right, Q?
that's right. Well, listen,
I
the
said,
time is here. The hour has come. Again, ladies and gentlemen, because you are the publisher, Brandy, I want to give you an opportunity to invite on as well as introduce to some, but present to others, our featured honored guest of the hour, author Q Leanne. So you take an opportunity to introduce her, and we're going to bring her on live. And thank you again, Brandy, for joining us.
absolutely. Well, everybody, get your virtual hand claps, your hearts. I don't know what part of Facebook you might be in. Throw up some hand claps, hearts, some I love yous. If you love Q as much as we do, you already know who she is. She probably invited you to this webinar, so I don't have to give you her list of accolades. But what I can tell you is that she is a woman of God. She is a woman of her word, and she is a woman on fire with a story to tell about her journal to healing and her journey to healing. Welcome, Q Leanne. Come on, give her a virtual hand claps.
Yay! Well,
Hi.
welcome. Listen, the hour has come as we're celebrating your virtual book launch. Let me again be the first to say congratulations. How proud I am of you. Brandy, thank you again so much for joining us. We appreciate you, Brandy. So again,
Absolutely.
Author Q Leanne, you're here. This is an opportunity that I know has been, I would say, years in the making for you. But I want to take an opportunity for you right now to just greet your guests, those that are supporting you right now. And let me just say how beautiful you look this afternoon as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So, welcome everyone to my virtual book launch. I'm so glad that you were able to come out today. Um, I originally, like Brandon mentioned, I did want to have a party because, anybody that know me know how I like to get down and just have fun. But we're just going to have to party and celebrate here. If you guys have any questions, feel free because, I am an open book.
Yeah. Well, listen, the time has arrived. And if we were in the same room together, we would be sitting on the stage, we would have the microphones, and we're just going to ask you a series of questions because, again, this is an opportunity for you to really be transparent, to really share from your heart and help people to understand, those that, like myself, have pre-ordered the book and those who are looking forward to reading your very first book. So first question up, author Q Leanne, when did you decide that you wanted to write a book, and kind of talk about how long did it take you to complete it?
I actually decided in probably early 2016 when I was going through my whole separation process. I would write everything down in my journal. And I remember the Holy Spirit coming to me saying, this is not just your private journal anymore. This is going to be your book. And I was like, I don't want to share this stuff with anybody because, when you're writing your journal, it
Right.
can get kind of gruesome and very intimate. So I was like, I don't want to share this with anyone. He said, but I need you to share your story because you're not the only woman in ministry. You're not the only one in ministry going through a separation. You're not the only one in ministry that's dealing with mental health, but I need you to be able to talk about it. So I said, okay, I'll go ahead and write it. And what really confirmed it for me was I would share like bits and pieces of my story on social media. The overwhelming response I would get to my inbox from people that were going through the same thing that I was going through. And we were all just kind of suffering in silence because nobody was talking about it.
Well, and one thing, because you and I are friends, and we've been friends over the years, and I can remember some things you would post, and I would be like, that sounds like a book. And so the fact that you followed through in actually completing this book called My Journal to Healing, what would you say though was maybe like the hardest part of writing and publishing this first book?
Oh, having to go back and read it over and over again. The very traumatic parts. And that's probably why it took me so long, because I would start reading things that I had written and I would have to put it down and just cry and realize, hey, you're still not healed in that area.
Hmm.
And so I would just have to take time and allow the Lord to heal me before I could pick the book back up and start writing again.
So, and I guess another question to piggyback off that then. So, again, for those of you that are just joining us, this is an exclusive interview with author
Yeah.
Q Leanne as we are celebrating her virtual book launch for her book that we're currently taking pre-orders for, My Journal to Healing. And we're just getting downright deep and personal, transparent. We're asking questions. So, for those of you that are engaged with us right now, if you have a specific question, feel free to drop those in the comments and we'll try to get those asked for you. But when we're talking about, what was the hardest part? So were there ever times in Author Q Leanne when you maybe dealt with writer's block? And how did you overcome that?
Yes, writer's block, definitely, especially once I got towards the end of the book, because I knew that there was more, but I had decided that I was going to cut the book off at a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Holy Spirit was like, "No, you've got to add the other part of the story in," and I was like, "I don't really want to do that." So the writer's block came in, and just really trying to figure out the best way to put it in the book and still be transparent about what was going on, but protect the other people that was a part of the story.
Right. And so when you think about the title of your book, like when did that like
Mhm.
snap and say, okay, My Journal to Healing? When did that really come about? Were you starting to write before you got the title, or did you get the title before you started writing?
It was instantly because, like I said, I was already writing in my journal, and so that's what I titled my journal. I titled my journal to healing. And so when the Holy Spirit said, "This is going to be your book," I knew instantly that that was the title of it.
So, what would you say then was your greatest motivator to getting to the finish line? Because I know there's many that could be watching that maybe they've started their book and they've kind of been procrastinating and put it to the side. What really pushed you, Arthur Q. Leanne, would you say the most to get it done?
I'm going to have to say my daughter, my youngest daughter, because I have three children. My oldest daughter was away in college, and my son had gone away to a military academy. So my youngest daughter was there through the whole process. And so she saw all the tears and everything, and she saw me coming through it. And when she knew I was writing a book, I would stop and she was like, "Mommy, I'm ready to read your book. I'm ready for you to finish so I can read your book." Really, she wanted to just read about her, but that was my motivation to get the book finished.
That's amazing. So, again, for those of you that are watching, this is an exclusive interview highlighting the virtual book launch for none other than author Q Leanne, her very first book titled My Journal to Healing. And we're just asking some questions for those of you that are really going to learn about the journey that it took her to get up to the point of where she is now. So, real quick, author Q Leanne, while we're in here and people are watching, for those that would like to pre-order the book, how can they get a copy of the book?
So you can either go to my website, www.qscreativeconcepts.com, or you can go to PayPal me / Q Leanne or MZQH28 on Cash App or Venmo.
Okay. Well, listen, this book, I mean, just from what you shared, I believe it's going to be one that I always say this phrase, similar but different, different but similar. It's all of our testimonies. And I'm sure there's something that you've been able to really journal about that we can all kind of relate to. So when people read this book, what do you want them to feel or what do you want them to experience?
You know, I can say it now because now I'm in the spotlight. I finally gained my wings. I'm in the spotlight now.
That's right.
And I want people to feel and understand that even those of us that are in the spotlight, those of us that have a platform, we go through real things. The same way everybody else may be at home shouting and yelling with their spouses or yelling at their kids, we do the same thing. We deal with the exact same things. So I want you to be able to read the book and just know that you are not alone. You're not by yourself. and you can get through it.
Wow. Well, listen, I can't wait. I'm like, okay, I'm ready, 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 ready. I feel like we need to form like a book club and we kind of all read it together. But I know you were going to be able to share an insert, something from your
Hmm.
book. So I want to give those of you that are watching, make sure you can get somewhere right now that you're not distracted. So you can say that you heard it first before it's even hit the market, that it's been released. This is the exclusive of what you're going to hear from author Q Leanne herself, coming right out of her book, My Journal to Healing. Q, what you going to share with us this afternoon?
Okay, so before I read it, when you get into the book, you'll see there was love triangle between, it was more of a whatever the fourth thing is, because my spouse had somebody, I had somebody, and then it got to the point to where my spouse and the other person were like trying to convince me of who I needed to be with.
Mm.
So what I'm getting ready to is actual a poem that I wrote that's in the book, and it's entitled The Final Choice. Okay, y'all ready? Man, I messed up and I felt bad, but I make it up to her. I give her cash, flowers, candy, cards, and gifts. I give her anything to make her heart lift. Can you give me back my time? How about my strength? Turn the favor of the great length that I took for you. Can you give me back the breath I gave when I prayed for you? How about the tears I cried after you said I love you? How about the friends I lost when I went to bat for you? Better yet, can you restore my daughter's faith in you? Can you push confusion away from my son? Can you explain to him why you did what you done? No, baby, I can't. I can't give you any of those things that you're asking of me. But I'm a changed man. I'll show you. You'll see. From this day forward, only you and family will be in my circle. No more proving to myself that I'm still the man.
Mm.
No more pulling all the women that I can. No more putting you behind me and pushing you asunder. No more projecting my voice like the sound of thunder. No more character attacks on you. No more reshaping you to who I want you to be. I'll add to your value. I'll add to your worth. Man, I wish I could rewind all the church hurt that you experienced because of my actions. Give me a chance, love, to be your pastor. I teach you what I know. I share my knowledge with you.
Mm.
You'll be my assistant pastor, first lady, and boo. We'll break open God's word and study it together. My tone will be supportive, regardless of whether I agree with your understanding. Baby, don't fall for that.
Wow.
You know he's too demanding. He'll also want you to be his wife and mother. He'll want you to be his submissive lover. He won't go to work and get his paper because he doesn't have to. His mom will help take care of the financial strain. Don't let this man take the strength that you fought to regain. Yes, I smoked hard, sniffed salt, and smoked plants. Yes, I am the one that put down my pants. I allowed other women to enjoy what I said was yours. Yes, I was smoking that when you said I smell it coming out your pores. Baby, that life is behind me. I was wrong, but you'll have to agree. I gave you my background before I made you mine. I gave you the option to walk away or be my ride or die. Oh, wait, but I did lie. I told you that this life was behind me, but it wasn't. I really do love you, but I couldn't love you until I loved me. I want to build you a house with my bare hands, a house built to your specifics. Do you understand? When I get paid from work, the money goes in your hands. Just make sure the bills are paid. We can eat. I look fly, and you keep you and Natalie's hair tight. I want heads to turn when my girl walks in the room. I want exes and niggas alike to say, how'd he pull that so soon? I recognize I'm a better man because you're in my life. I've been telling you since November 2016 that I want you to be my wife. I can't undo the damage and pain I've caused. I can't replace the tears that I caused to fall. What I can do is put it all behind me. No drugs, Kelly, Martha, or Bree. No pimping, no selling or indulging. Just taking care of me and you, our three sons and two daughters. Be my baby. Let me be your personal Jay-Z. Let me nourish that boss within. Let me show you how to really handle your business. Let me show you how to negotiate a contract. Let me help you put away the shyness when you network with the contact. Wow, guys, your offers are really nice. Marriage isn't a light decision. I think I sit back and watch you live your life. I can only be the wife of one. Yes, I know, I'm still yours, but that will soon be undone. You both forgot about the hardships and struggles I went through. Well, Ray, you only know half the battle. You came in on part two. When the time is right for me to submit myself to a husband, I know it without conversations. Saying yes won't be a struggle. I pray for much success in the life of you two. I pray that God blesses and keeps you.
Wow.
Pray that He forgives you for the pain caused His daughter. He did, and so did I. My daddy has me on a journey to healing. This is the path I'm going to walk until my healing is complete. See, now I have to learn how to trust and not be naive. I have to learn how to trust what He shows me and not what I believe. I let you both talk. You told me your wrongs and how you want to make it right. I appreciate it so much, but my battle isn't your fight. This journey is about a little girl learning her father's voice again. This is about a young woman learning to trust and obey God, not men. I love you both, and I know you love me, but God loves me more, and in His presence is where I long to be. I
Mm.
can't give myself to either of you because I'm still learning who I am. Sorry, guys, I have to follow the internal voice. Being whole, healed, and complete is my choice.
Listen.
That's it.
Yeah. Woo! Y'all come on, snap it up, snap it up, snap it up. Yeah. Love that. I like that. You know, one thing you said in there is, you know, you have to learn to trust what you show me and not what I believe. And so I'm
Exactly.
telling you, Q, heartfelt, passionate. I believe that this is going to be one of those reads to where people may not can put it down. Like they may have to really just get it in, steal away, take a weekend and really just dive in. But how amazing is that poem? And I believe that for those that are watching today, those that just heard the exclusive of you reading that poem before it's even published and in the hands of those of us that will be able to read it, thank you for sharing that with us today. So for those of you that are joining us for this virtual book launch event for author Q Leanne, her very first book titled My Journal to Healing, you just heard an exclusive insert that she shared with all of us from the book. It's a poem. What was the poem title again, Q?
The final choice.
The Final Choice. Now that was a little juicy now when you was like, you know, your former spouse had a lady and then you had a man and how they were trying to tell you who you. I was like, listen, y'all got to get a copy of this book. This book is gonna, I'm telling you, I think it's gonna be one of those ones like after they read this one, they be like, okay, what's next? So again, if you've not yet pre-ordered, you can definitely check it out on the website. It's www.qs, that's QS, creativeconcepts.com, that you can pre-order your book. You can also PayPal, author Q Leanne. You can also Cash App, Venmo, $ MZQH28. Listen, there's no excuse. You can get your copy today. Let them know, Q, how much the books are going for that they can pre-order.
So the books right now are $14.99, and that is going to get you an autographed copy. And right now, I'm not charging shipping. So this is a great time to get it because once it goes live on Amazon, the price goes up to $19.99. So you want to get
Listen,
it now.
get it now, get it today, get it during this virtual book launch that you can know that you'll support our good friend, our home girl, our lady, queen.
Yes.
You know what it is. So again, for all of the family, and I know even right now, you're not even home. You're actually celebrating this launch with family. You guys are actually in a hotel room. I know y'all going to turn up after this virtual book
Yeah.
launch. Again, big shout out to all of your guests that have joined you today. You know, even before we went live, you was like, you know, let me get some Kleenexes. I might cry. And so this is an emotional experience for you because
Yeah.
I understand that feeling of being able to say, you know what, I did it. So I want you to take a minute to just talk about the experience of what it really felt like for you when you were able to say, I have completed the book. It has been sent to the publisher and you can pre-order. What did that feel like for you?
I was able to exhale. I was like, I can't believe I've actually written a book, and now, I say millions of people are gonna read my story.
Yeah.
And it was exciting, and then I got nervous all at the same time. I was like, oh, I don't want to put this out here, but it was too late. It's out there now, so it was exhilarating.
Well, and there's somebody, Arthur Q Leanne, that's watching right now, and they are, I'm sure, being inspired by your story, by your testimony, that you were able to take some of your life lessons and experiences and turn it into a book that, as you basically have decreed and declared, and I want to touch and agree with you, that millions of people, really the world, could read your story. What would be your words of encouragement, though, for someone that, yeah, they want to share their story too, but hadn't really picked up the pen to start doing it? What would be your words of encouragement for them to get started as well?
Start writing. Don't try to format it. Don't try to figure out the best words to put in there. Just write and get the thoughts out your head. You'll be able to go back later and connect with people that can help you get it formatted. They can help you get the right words in. But your number one thing right now is to write it down. Write the vision.
Write the vision and make it plain. And then that's when the publishers and all the other folks can do their part. Just share your story. Just be transparent. Let the creative juices flow. But again, for those of you that are maybe just tuning in and you've not caught it from the beginning, again, this is an exclusive interview for the very first book that is being launched by Author Q Leanne virtually, as we are really just congratulating you today. We're celebrating you. We salute you. We honor you. And let me be the first to thank you too in advance for being transparent enough to share your story and your journal and some of what I believe are some of your innermost, deepest secrets that can now be revealed, that you have healing. So let's talk real quick again about the title, My Journal to Healing. So did you really look at this book as a part of your healing process, or had you already healed when you wrote the book?
In the beginning, I didn't look at it as the healing process. But like I said, as I wrote it and I would go back and read, I realized, like, okay, this is the area I'm still not healed in. So I would take the time to do whatever needed to be done so I could heal, whether that was going to therapy, whether taking my medication, or just taking the time to allow the emotions to calm, just whatever was necessary, or in some cases, just talk to the other parties involved and just allow the healing to calm. And then I was able to go back and pick up. So yeah, it was a part of my healing process, but in the beginning, I didn't see it as such.
Well, I definitely too, I want to give a big shout out to your former spouse, Derek Kinlow Sr., because I know he supported you. I saw that he was even on the live, and I know some of this kind of intertwined you all's relationship, but as well as your children. So again, big shout out to the kids, all three of them, for just being your support, your rock, Shekinah, Derek the second, Ashira. What has it really meant for you to know that family has really stood behind you pushing this book out? Because it's one thing to tell your story, but it's one thing to be public and open and transparent about what has happened in your life that hopefully can bring about healing to someone else. So what has that support meant to you?
It means everything, because Stephanie, a lot of times when we step out to do things, family doesn't support us.
Mm-hmm.
And the support that I have gotten from my family has been overwhelming. I am talking about people, they're on their jobs telling other people about it. They're telling their friends about it. It's just amazing. They've purchased their books already. And I'm just like, God, you're awesome, because like I said, family doesn't always support their own like that. So just to have the support of my family, it just means everything to me.
Yeah. Well, again, for those of you that have already pre-ordered your books, You heard it from her first here, letting you know that you will actually get an autographed signed book. So autographed signed book that will be the first of the first that you can say that you ordered it first. So be a part of the first of us, because I can say us because I've already pre-ordered my book. Get your book.
That's right.
It's only $14.99. Look, you'll be able to save a few dollars on shipping. So right now there's no shipping charge, but $14.99. Definitely cop it from the website. You can go to Q's Creative Concept. That's QS Concept Creative. I'm sorry, QsCreativeConcepts.com. $14.99. You can actually PayPal. You can Cash App. You can Venmo. But Q, again, for someone that's watching, My Journal to Healing. Why? I mean, there's millions of books that people could, select to pick up to read. Why should they pick up your book today?
Because you're going to be able to relate. Somebody's going to be able to relate to what I went through. If not everything, some of the things. And you're going to be able to read a story where somebody went through what you are familiar with and they're transparent about it. One thing that I absolutely believe in my life is Revelations 12 and 11, and they were overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. And I absolutely believe that my testimony will help heal other people and help other people overcome the things that they are going through. So you want to read the book because it's open, it's transparent. I put my heart in it for you, just one person to get their healing. So yes.
Listen, well, I tell you what, I know you got some juicy stuff in there, and we're going to be like, what? There may be some shocking things that people would be like, no, I couldn't believe that happened. But again, I really am, encouraged because, again, you often are transparent to talk about even your mental health, issues and concerns that you experience even through your marriage that you're now able to transparently talk about and write about. So there is someone that may be watching right now. How would you like to maybe just leave them a word of encouragement as it relates to the mental health crisis of things that people could be dealing with, and realizing that being able to write, which you did through your journal of healing, could also really help them as well?
So with mental health, I do believe in writing, just journaling things down. I tell a story where I think it was my second hospital trip. I've been to the mental institution 3 times. Mm-hmm. And so on the second trip, before I went in, I stopped and I got a notebook and an ink pen because I wanted to capture everything. And I started journaling in my mental health, in the mental health institution. So journaling is very helpful when you're dealing with mental health illnesses. Another thing that we're just now starting to do in certain communities is go seek professional help. And when I say certain communities, I'm not just talking about brown and black communities, but also in the church communities, because a lot of times we get, well, just pray about it. Or what are you thinking about? Well, unfortunately, that's not always the answer. Sometimes we got to go and sit down and get on somebody's couch and cry about it, and even take some medication to get through it.
Absolutely.
So don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed of what you're going through. You're not by yourself. If you need to go seek out professional help, go seek out professional help. If you need some referrals, inbox me, because I have some wonderful people that I can refer you to.
Well, and so let's stay right there. So now that you're, inviting people to reach out to them, again, for someone that's watching and they're learning of your journey, they're learning of My Journal to Healing, how can they connect with you?
So I am on Facebook and Instagram as author Q Leanne. I think there may be a Harris at the end of one of them. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, listen,
but
guys,
definitely
want to connect with her. Let her know that you found out about her exclusive interview regarding her virtual book launch, her very first book. So you can say that you met or learned about her today, with this being the first. Imagine after the 5th book or the 10th book or the 50th book, who knows? But the fact that we're celebrating with you today, author Q Leanne, for your very first book, My Journal to Healing. Again, it is available for pre-order today for only $14.99. listen, that's less than what you probably spend in food or gas or just splurge for the week. Take an opportunity to sow into the vision of what this woman of God is sharing literally with the world. I think this read will engage you. This read will, allow you to really take a personal self-inventory of some things that you're dealing with or maybe have dealt with. And so with that being said, author Q Leanne, let's talk about, dealing with this type of healing in the church. Because again, as you were writing in your journal, you're a pastor's wife. And as you mentioned, that's something even within ministry that we don't talk about or is openly addressed, that there's not shame or guilt or embarrassment felt. And there probably is, I ain't gonna say probably, there is someone watching, or if they don't know that they're experiencing themselves, they know somebody that could be experiencing themselves and they're in ministry and they just didn't know who to talk to or how to deal with it as far as the problems and issues that they may be having personally. What would be your word of encouragement for someone that's in ministry and they feel trapped or they feel hopeless, just as this read for your journal to healing can maybe help them to open up?
Wow. Let me think. How did I handle that? One, don't take the approach that I took, because I completely left church for a while just to heal. But I did build a social circle. And even while I was in church, even with being a first lady and before that a minister's wife, my social circle didn't necessarily consist of other people that was in ministry. I got people around me that could handle the real Q and would allow me to just let it out, however, to express myself. One person in particular, and I know she's not going to come on camera, is my best friend. She and I have been best friends since 1990.
Wow.
And she was right there for me. And she would call me every other day just to check on me or text me. And if I had to cry, I cried. If I had to curse, I cursed. If I just wanted to sit and eat, I sat and eat. So be around people when you're dealing with your mental issues. Be around people that's going to allow you to be you. It doesn't have to be people that's in church. Just you need to be surround somebody where you can be real with you and be real with them.
All right. Well, listen, you heard it exclusively from author Q Leanne as we are doing her virtual book launch today for her exclusive interview about her very first book titled My Journal to Healing. You can let her know that you found out about her right here on the Jazz Report. Listen, we're so proud of you. We are continuing to support you and what you're doing to share your story and that your story be heard. I mean, I can literally envision you being on stages all across the world sharing your testimony, because I just saw someone comment that went across the screen that says that they need your book and that they believe that it can help them. And I know that's really what it's going to be all about for you, because not only was it your journal to healing, but it's also going to be a ministry resource. I truly believe that will help other people also come out of their rut to be on their pathway for their journal to healing as well. So again, for someone that's watching, author Q Leanne, I know we're nearing the top of the hour. I want to give you guys an opportunity, for those of you that are streaming with us live, if you have a question that you want to drop exclusively that we can get an answer, definitely feel free to do so. But can you tell if somebody maybe was willing to sponsor a book and maybe sow a seed and maybe, sow this book into someone's life, how could they actually do that? And if maybe they want, well, let's do it like this. If there's somebody that's watching the live right now and you would be willing to sponsor a book for someone to receive a copy of the book, why don't you hashtag My Journal to Healing? Let's do it like that. Hashtag My Journal to Healing. If you are interested to sow this book into the life of someone that author Q Leanne could randomly give this book away to, why don't you hashtag right now My Journal to Healing? She'll definitely reach out to you, connect with you, and allow you to make the payment. And we're going to sow books because, again, we, on behalf of the Jazz Report, we will sponsor a book as well. Even though I've purchased my personal book, on behalf of the Jazz Report, we're going to purchase another book, and we're going to give it away live on some future broadcast of an upcoming show. But again, author Q Leanne, you look absolutely glowingly beautiful today, should I say. And
Thank
so I
you.
just want to give you an opportunity as we're nearing the top of the hour to give your final thoughts as it relates to the fact that you're now considered to be a published author, that your book is about to hit the market, and what that really means to you, and just encouraging people to be able to support what you're doing right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with what that means to me. I'm gonna give y'all a little backdrop. As gorgeous as I am right now, my girlfriends will laugh because I'm a very confident person in who I am.
Yes.
It hasn't always been that way. I grew up in one of the roughest neighborhoods in Greenville, South Carolina. Um, I was talked about, I was teased on a daily basis to the point to where by 8 years old, I was ready to commit suicide.
Mm.
I did not know why God had me here, why I was still allowed to live. People were, my family was always around me, but I was good at faking things, so they never knew what I was going through. So I shared that to say, if God can take a little skinny chick out of the hood who was suicidal at 8 and bring her to this point to where at 44 she's a published author, he can do it for you. So whatever your dream is, whatever it is you want to do in life, go for it. Don't let anybody or anything tell you you can't do it, because God says all things are possible to him who believes. So if you believe you can make it
Yes.
happen, go for it. Go.
Yes.
I'm a living witness. I am a testimony to that fact.
Yes. Well, I'm so excited that through your testimonies, through your journal, My Journal to Healing, many of us will be able to read your book and not only take a personal self inventory to be able to relate with what you've written about, but I pray that for every copy that is released, that people can also be healed, and that they will not only, as you
Amen.
even said yourself, that they not only just read the book, but they also be able to learn from it. And so I want to give you an opportunity. I know we only have a few more minutes. We're going to get out of here. Can you talk about maybe the name of a few of the chapters in the book? So for people that are looking to order the book, that gives them an opportunity to think about some of the chapters in the book that they're going to read.
Yes. So I know there's a chapter entitled "Just the Three of Us."
Mm,
Uh-huh. There's a chapter entitled "Reconciliation and Breakup."
okay.
There's a chapter entitled "Life's Resets."
Mm.
There's a chapter entitled "Ray is Bay."
Oh.
It's
Look, that's all
it's
we're
like
gonna give them. That's all we're gonna give them, Q. We're not gonna give them anything else.
okay.
Listen, guys, this has been an amazing kind of sit down, open up, exclusive interview with author Q Leanne, as we've been just really chopping it up today, talking about her release of her very first book titled My Journal to Healing. You can get your copy today. For those of you that hashtag within the comments that you would be willing to sponsor a book, that it could be given away to someone, definitely cash app her or PayPal. Let her know that you are willing to sponsor that this book be given away. Again, you can go to the website is www.qs, that's QS, creativeconcepts.com. You can also PayPal author Q Leanne, or Cash App or Venmo. Just directly send it to her, MZQH28. Let her know that you found out about here for her live exclusive interview on the Jazzy Report. I'm telling you what, Q, those titles of those chapters, honey, I'm ready. And I believe everybody that's been watching today is also ready as well. So on behalf of the Jazzy Report, again, we will definitely be sponsoring a book to give away. Can you tell us exclusively when we should expect to get our books in hand?
Um, I'm thinking about 2 weeks. I just got an email from Amazon the other day saying that the books would be ready on July 29th. So I think that's Monday. So once I place my order, get everybody's autograph sent out. So give it about 2 weeks tops.
All
You have
right.
your
And
book in
so
hand.
2 weeks, guys. And so I want to challenge everybody, as soon as you get your book, I want to make sure you take a picture with the book and we're going to tag her. We want to flood your timeline all throughout the social media platforms. So as soon as you get your book, and I'm going to be doing it too, make sure you take a picture with your book, tag author Q Leanne in it, let her know that we're going to start up reading the book, and just continue to support the Upstate's very own queen, friend, sister. Listen, I just want you to know how proud I am of you, and just to know that I was able to be a part of your very first book. What a humbling experience it is for me, because I believe this is going to be one of many to come. So before we get out of here, let's just go ahead and ask, what's next for author Q Leanne? What's the next mountain that you plan to climb, and what can we expect from you in the future?
I am actually right now working on a 31-day devotional entitled "It's Your Life, Go Get It." And when I sat down to start writing it and reading over it, I realized that my journal to healing tells you what I went through. It's Your Life, Go Get It tells you how I got through it.
All right.
So I'm working on that now.
Well, you guys can say that you heard that exclusively for the virtual book launch. Again, it's been an amazing hour. Again, we celebrate you. I want everybody to take an opportunity right now to give a big congratulations, give a thumbs up, show some heart, show some love. Author Q Leanne, you did it. You absolutely are a published author. We have a couple weeks to wait till we get this in hand. My Journal to Healing, exclusive interview, virtual book launch event. It has happened. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Yours truly serving as host today, Miss Jazzy. Again, author Q Leanne. We're proud of you. We're going to get out of here. You guys be sure to order your books. www.qscreativeconcepts.com. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, whatever you got to do. You want to get your book now, save the shipping costs while it's absolutely free for only $14.99. God bless you. We love you, author Q Leanne.
Love you too. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you.